Yo, what's good everyone? When it comes to swords, strength, and sheer determination, there's no one quite like Roronoa Zoro. From impossible battles to jaw-dropping feats, this legendary swordsman never fails to leave us in awe. Today, we're counting down the top 5 Zoro moments that truly define his power, skill, and unwavering spirit. Get ready to witness the blades in action. Let's get it. Zoro's Mihawk. When Zoro faced Dracul Mihawk, it wasn't just a defeat, it was a scar. Mihawk's calm precision against Zoro's reckless swings showed just how far he had to climb. Every fight since then, a comparison to that single moment. Take Whiskey Peak, dozens of bounty hunters against one man. Back then it looked like overkill, but when you compare it to Mihawk, you see the lesson: control, patience, the ability to turn chaos into victory. Or Skypiea, when Zoro fought Bram, one of Enel's priests. His wild slashes failed, but when he steadied himself, when he measured his strikes, he cut Bram down in an instant. That's Mihawk's influence, buried in a forgotten fight. And then Thriller Bark. Mihawk once humbled him with a dagger, but against Ryama, another legendary swordsman, Zoro fought evenly and walked away with Shusui. A duel that fans forget, but one that proved how much stronger he had become. Even in Eni's lobby against Kaku, Zoro wasn't just swinging blindly anymore. The birth of Ashura wasn't raw power, it was controlled fury, a direct contrast to the reckless swordsman Mihawk cut down. Every clash since that first scar is proof, from the battles we remember to the ones most have forgotten. Because when Zoro faces Mihawk again, it won't be as the rookie who was humbled. It'll be as the swordsman who turned every fight, big or small, into a step closer to standing as his equal. Zoro versus Pica.
Emily will be answering to me! His voice!
Dressrosa was burning, chaos everywhere, and at the center of it all stood Doflamingo pulling the strings. But while the world feared his power, Zoro had only one target: Pica. Pica towered like a living mountain, his stone body crushing anything in his path. But Zoro's eyes didn't waver. This was no ordinary fight. Every slash tore through stone, shaking Pica to his core. Doflamingo watched, smirking from above, thinking no one could stop his monstrous ally. But Zoro wasn't here for fear, he was here for justice, for victory. Even as Pica lunged with unstoppable force, Zoro's focus never faltered. He struck with precision, cutting through stone like it was paper, each blow echoing across the battlefield. And when the moment came, Zoro soared into the air, swords blazing. With one final devastating strike, Pica fell, and even Doflamingo's smirk faltered for the first time. In Dressrosa, the swordsman proved why he's destined to be the world's greatest, undaunted by mountains, giants, or even the kingpins pulling the strings. Zoro vs. Kuma. Picture this. Kuma steps in, this massive warlord with insane power, but he wasn't just some mindless monster. Nah, Kuma had a past. Dude was born into the Buccaneer tribe, enslaved by the celestial dragons as a kid, branded and broken. Later, he became king of the Sorbet Kingdom, called the Tyrant. But in reality, he joined the Revolutionary Army to fight back against the same corrupt world that crushed him. Then came Vegapunk, turning Kuma into a pacifista cyborg, stripping him piece by piece, but even after losing himself, deep down he still had that human heart. And that's why he helped instead of destroying the Straw Hats, and that choice changed everything. Instead of ending Zoro, Kuma sent him straight to Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman. He knew Zoro's will was unbreakable, and if anyone could sharpen him into a true monster, it was Mihawk. But the real moment that stamped Zoro's name into history? When Kuma offered Luffy's pain, Zoro stepped up. No fear, no second thoughts. He took all of it, every ounce, until he was drenched in blood. And when Sanji found him after, Zoro just stood there, broken but unshaken, and said the coldest words ever. Nothing happened. Moments like that are why Zoro's not just Luffy's right hand. He's the blade that clears the path forward, and this was only the beginning. Coming up next, Zoro's attack on Kaido. Kaido, the strongest creature in the world, one of the 4 emperors of the New World. Born in Wano, he grew up in a harsh world, constantly seeking the ultimate battle, becoming nearly immortal and unmatched in strength. From a young age, Kaido was obsessed with testing his limits, surviving countless battles, and seeking the ultimate fight. He amassed armies, conquered territories, and crushed anyone who dared oppose him. Legends spoke of his invincibility, and he proved it by knocking out Luffy with a single strike. I remember watching One Piece when they first mentioned Kaido, and I had no idea he would turn out to be such an insanely strong character. Pushing Luffy to peak form and Joy Boy was woken. But maybe we can touch more on that in the next video. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, back to it. Kaido even leapt from the Sky Island, like he owned the sky itself because there was nobody out there strong enough to take on bro. He wanted to end it all, but even that didn't work. But Zoro was ready. Every strike, every clash, shook Onigashima. The air crackled with power and fear. Kaido roared, crushing everything in his path. Yet in that chaos, Zoro's determination burned brighter. And then, in a moment no one believed possible, Zoro struck. His sword met Kaido's flesh. Tatakai on Onigashima. The impossible had happened.
King, the conflagration, a Lunarian, a race once worshipped as gods because of their black wings, their unyielding flames, and their ability to survive anything. But by the time of the New World, King was the last of his kind. Hunted, captured, experimented on, until Kaido set him free. From that day, loyalty was carved into his very soul. Kaido was strength, Kaido was freedom, and King became his right hand. Together, they dreamed of a world ruled by monsters. And to make sure no one could oppose them, Kaido even had clones of King created, artificial copies, though none ever matched the real conflagration. But fate had other plans. Roronoa Zoro, a swordsman carrying the dreams of his crew, wielding blades sharpened by pain and ambition. This wasn't just a fight for survival, it was a fight to prove himself worthy of Wano's strongest. The clash was inevitable. Destiny itself drew the swords. King struck first. Flames erupted like a living inferno, wings spread wide as blades of obsidian. His Lunarian body could withstand any attack while his flames burned, making him nearly invincible. At first, Zoro's blades could do nothing, his strongest slashes glanced off. His haki couldn't pierce the Lunarian defenses. For a moment, it seemed impossible. But Zoro adapted. He studied the rhythm of the flames, the secret behind King's power. When his fire burned, his defense was absolute. But when extinguished, his speed soared and his guard weakened. That was the opening Zoro needed. Still, it wasn't simple. Every swing of King's sword carried monstrous strength. Every strike threatened to tear Zoro apart. The battlefield shook with firestorms, wings cutting through the skies, shockwaves ripping stone apart. Yet through blood, pain, and relentless spirit, Zoro endured. Step by step, slash by slash, he closed in. And then, the moment came. King unleashed everything. Fire, fury, wings determined to end it in one final storm. But Zoro's resolve roared even louder. With Asura awakened, his blades carried not just steel, but the will of everyone he swore to protect. In a single, perfect strike, Zoro cut through King. The defense of the Lunarian shattered, the sky burned, and the right hand of Kaido fell. Victory wasn't chance, it wasn't luck. It was Zoro's growth, his resolve, and his mastery of Enma that allowed him to overcome the unconquerable. And think about this, if Kaido hadn't saved King from that lab years ago, would the Beast Pirates have ever reached such heights? Or was King always destined to fall to someone like Zoro? Let me know what you think in the comments. But one thing is certain, this battle wasn't just Zoro versus King. It was the fall of Kaido's right hand, and the rise of a swordsman who will one day stand at the very top. Roronoa Zoro, unstoppable. And that's it for this breakdown of one of the most explosive fights in Wano. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know which fight you want covered next. Until then, keep your blade sharp.